Hello students, in this video we are going to study about what is uniform and non-uniform motion. So first I am going to start with uniform motion. Whenever an object is moving such that it covers equal distances in equal intervals of time, whatever be the time interval, this condition remains continue during the complete motion, then such type of motion is called uniform motion. So a body is said to be in uniform motion if it cover equal distances in equal intervals of time, whatever be the size of the time interval. One more thing is there, this motion should be in same fixed direction. There must be no change in the direction of motion. So we can write uniform motion as a body is said to be in uniform motion if it covers equal distances in equal intervals of time in the same fixed direction. Now this time interval can be of any duration, means it can be as much as small, but this condition should be valid. If this condition is valid, then such type of motion is called uniform motion. For example, if a body travels from point A to point B, that is, suppose that is 1000 meter in 1 minute, so it takes the time t is equal to 1 minute while traveling from A to B, that is 1000 meter, then it will be in uniform motion if it covers 500 meters each in 30 seconds. This is 1 minute, so 30 seconds for this and 30 seconds, remaining 30 seconds for this. Similarly, it covers 250 meters each, this 250 meters each for every 15 seconds. That means 15 seconds for 250, again 15 for 250, again 15 for 250, and again 15 for 250. Then such type of motion is called uniform motion. However, non-uniform motion is just opposite to that. In non-uniform motion, the velocity keeps on changing. Whenever a body is in uniform motion, a body is said to be in non-uniform motion if its velocity changes with time. If this is the condition, then such type of motion is called non-uniform motion. So now this change in velocity can be either speed, that means the magnitude can change, or direction, or both can change. So velocity change होने का reason हो सकता है कि उसका magnitude change हो रहा हो, that means its speed is changing, or the direction is changing, or both are changing. That's why the velocity of the particle that is in motion keeps on changing with time, and because of that the motion is called non-uniform motion. Now there are certain characteristics of uniform motion that we are going to study. So the very first characteristic of uniform motion is the velocity. In uniform motion, it doesn't depend on the choice of origin. So whenever a body is in uniform motion, its velocity doesn't depend on the choice of origin. Choice of origin doesn't matter to the velocity in uniform motion. This is the first characteristics. Now the second characteristic is that the velocity also doesn't depend on the choice of time interval. So this velocity in uniform motion also does not depend on the choice of time interval. Means it can be first 15 seconds, or it can be next 15 seconds, or it can be further next 15 seconds. The velocity will remain same. That means it doesn't depend on the choice of time interval during the motion. Third characteristic of uniform motion is that for uniform motion along a straight line in the same direction, the magnitude of displacement is actually equal to the distance covered by the object. So whenever we have a uniform motion in a straight line in same direction, now these are the condition. We have uniform motion in straight line in same direction, then in such situation जो displacement होगा उसका magnitude, the magnitude of displacement will be equal to the actual distance covered, that is the path traveled, actual distance covered by the object इसके equal होगा. Means जो हमारा object distance travel करेगा, it is equal to the magnitude of the displacement, that means the minimum distance between the two positions. The next characteristic of uniform motion is the velocity is positive if object is moving towards the right of the origin, and negative if the object is moving towards the left of the origin. So if I consider O as a reference point or origin, and object is moving either towards right or towards left, so if object is moving from origin to A, its velocity is taken as positive because it is towards the right of the origin along positive axis, and this left side is termed as negative axis, so it will be negative value for velocity. So the fourth characteristic, if O is the origin or the reference point, then at right side of O velocity will be positive, and at left of O velocity will be negative. So this is the sign convention, we can call it a sign convention. If O is the origin or object is moving towards right of it, then its velocity is taken as positive, and if object is moving towards left of it, then its velocity is taken as negative. Next characteristic is that for an object in uniform motion, no force is required to maintain its motion. So in case of uniform motion, no force is required to maintain motion. The motion keeps on continuously as it is. There is no need of force to maintain motion. This is the fifth characteristic of uniform motion. And the last one is, in uniform motion, the instantaneous velocity is actually equal to the average velocity at all times. If we pick any particular instant, then at that particular instant, instantaneous velocity is equal to average velocity. Now this is for all the instants, means at all the times during the motion the velocity remains constant at each instant or at each point of the path, and that is the only average velocity that is equal to the average velocity of that motion. So instantaneous velocity is equal to average velocity in case of uniform motion. So these are the characteristics of uniform motion. That's all about uniform and non-uniform motion. In next video we will be studying about the equations of motion in uniform motion, or we also know them as kinematic formulae for uniform motion. Okay, that's it for the video. For further videos, stay tuned and keep studying. Thank you.